The voice of sharing during ASEAN.
Hi, this is Arlene.
Hi, this is Gowri.
And of course, you're listening to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. Today in our ABC dialogue, we have two incredible guests and they are filmmakers themselves. One is Mick Ho.
Hello.
Another one is Ronasina.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. So, how are you guys?
Great. So you guys are here to talk about the Freedom Film Festival, which is happening this year. And according to the website, they will be screening 37 inspiring, local,
all over
international
the
short
world.
films as well.
Yeah.
So
from the 6th to the 13th of September at PJ Live Arts Centre, Jaya 1.
So how is it feel like being selected to be one of the finalists? Still in shock?
Actually, like I don't know, Ronasina, I don't know about your case, but for myself, right, when Zuna approached me and asked me about this, because both of us, actually three groups, are selected to receive the grant. We had to do a pitch and then selected to receive a grant to enter this. So at that time, when Zuna asked me, I thought that, okay, since after the election, right, everyone's so depressed and demotivated, let's do something that can at least show people that you can fight for freedom of expression, fight for freedom of speech, fight for free and fair election using your own means, which is like in Zuna's case to use cartoons. So I'm using films and music to fight. So I was like, yes, I'm going to do it.
And you were saying?
And I don't know much about Comas and this Freedom Film Fest actually. So he said, if you are firm, if you can confirm that you want to join, then I'll enter this thing. I said, oh, okay, go ahead. And that's how I got into this. So when you ask me,
And when was that back then?
I don't know.
When you
was
got
like,
into this?
end of May or June. I don't remember. I think maybe June. So if you ask me how do I feel about like being in this competition, actually I did not know much about this competition. My aim was to produce a short documentary, which is to get people's spirits up to fight.
And you're a first-time filmmaker as well.
I'm not sure whether this can be considered first time or not, because I was with Durian FM and Durian ASEAN before this, and I produced the Project IC documentary series and the Voters Education series at Durian FM. So I'm not sure, but for documentary like this length and style, yes, this is the first time.
And before we go to Ronasina, I just want to mention that one of the guests, which is also happened to be one of the finalists for the Freedom Film Fest, is Azhar Rudin, and he can't make it. He made a documentary called Lebo Agraria. And with that, continue with Ronasina. So how did you get into this?
Okay, first of all, I've been through, and I've did a many job, including cartoonist also. I used to be the editor with Zuna. And also, I used to be a DJ and do that before this.
It's like a club today.
I do a lot of
It's a
things.
reunion now.
Yeah.
Script writing and all the things. And also, I try to, for my daughters, write. This film is called Anur Sekolah. It's about my daughter, who is living with cerebral palsy. You know cerebral palsy, isn't it? It's about a brain injury during while this kid's birth,
Childbirth.
Brain paralysis, I can say that. So I know it's just a symbol, so representing this type of children in Malaysia or maybe all over the world. So I go through and I use many methods. I wrote a book, Surat Untuk Anak. It's about my daughter, and now this is when I get this opportunity. So I make a film. As a father, I do anything I can do for my child's right,
Interesting that you mentioned both of your film. And just to let you know, Anur Sekolah is a film by Ronasina.
Yeah.
And of course, like you mentioned earlier, Fight Thru cartoon is a film by Mick Hu
And Zunar.
Yes. And just a bit of the background on all three films. Anur, as written in the freedomfilmfest.commas.org, the synopsis for Anur Nak Sekolah is this documentary drama revolves around the parents of Anur who seek to lay claim to her right to formal education. Anur is a child with cerebral palsy, like you mentioned earlier. And for the Fight Thru cartoon by Mick Hu and Zunar is a fusing powerful visual with satire and humor. Zunar seeks to raise the conscience of the people to rise together to fight corruption and injustice. While for Azahar, who unfortunately he cannot come today, he produced a film called Lebo Agraria, which is from south of the land, a group of people walk to KLCC in a desperate attempt to save their familial and ancestral graveyards. So all these three, I would say documentary/drama, revolves around the idea of freedom and human rights, which happened to be the theme of this year's Freedom Film Fest, which is about freedom.
I think the beauty of this Freedom Film Fest is that you can watch documentaries that you can't see it on the mainstream media. As everybody knows it, in Malaysia, the government controls the mainstream media. They monitor, control, and censor it. So anything to do, especially, for example, the ones that I'm doing, it's about Fight Thru cartoon fighting the government. So you won't see this. FINAS wouldn't support this or approve this also. And I think Freedom Film Fest by Commas is the one and only platform for
Independent filmmakers.
Yeah, for independent filmmakers, anyone actually, to have a platform to showcase things that they are very passionate about or they want to fight for. So you won't see, for example, if in the Freedom Film Fest, right, there will be a lot of activists. They are not just filmmakers. Maybe their main identity is activist, and some of them they are first-time filmmakers. It's more on the concept and the passion instead of just making film as an art. Yeah, it's a combination.
And Ronasina?
Yeah.
Why human rights? What's so important about it to raise the issue through film?
I just want to say about my kid, Look, what I want to show. I just talked about my film. What I want to show in this film is every kids have their right to get an education, But what happened to my kid and this type of children, the cerebral palsy kids with special needs, they don't have their rights to get education. The public funded school, there is no public funded school, government school in this country. So what happened to them? Just let them die like that, just like that. So I come and bring this issue on this film. Okay.
Which I think is very, very good. I mean, in Malaysia, right, not even that they don't have this kind of school to help these special needs children. Even for, they don't even have like wheelchair access places on the streets, in the school, on the streets. And how do you expect, like my dad, after he had a stroke and it's bedridden, only I realized that people who have special needs or even on wheelchair, they are like swept under the carpet. How do you expect them to function in this country? I wanted to bring him for to visit elsewhere. I couldn't get access to roads. I couldn't get access to certain buildings. There's no facilities to support these people. How are these people expected to live? Just chuck them at home. This is not right. Where our tax money goes to? Pockets of politicians.
Yeah, and the word human rights itself is not a word that we necessarily associate in the mainstream media or mainstream informations that we get from the public spaces. Even in school, I can't recall a time where actually they have human rights education. So, in your own opinion, like in terms of the word human rights itself, should it be something that should it be normalized within our society in a way that it is part and parcel of the way people function, meaning that in every way you do in every matter that you always have the word human rights in mind.
Yes, I think this is very, very important. And without having this knowledge or this paradigm in mind, right, you are just submitting or compromising on your benefits or your rights. Why? Okay, if you are not a crony, or if you are not someone who is connected to the politics. In Malaysia, people have this mindset that in order to have special rights, I have to be of this race, of certain connections. But no, actually, we are all equal. We are all Malaysian citizens. Even non-Malaysian citizens, we are humans, right? I mean, we are human. We have human rights. And we should not be compromising on this. Not just because of a system being established by a certain party. No, we can change this.
Interesting, and that's also the spirit of the Freedom Film Fest, which has been ongoing since 12 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a bit of the background of the history of the Film Fest.
Rosina and I are pointing fingers at each other. Okay.
You.
It started by Comas 12 years ago to provide a platform for independent filmmakers and activists to have, like what I said just now, to have a place to showcase their concerns and activism work, or even like certain artworks that is related to freedom, because hence the Freedom Film Fest name. It has been like, I don't know, like every year there are thousands of entries, and from various countries. This year we have at least 350 to 400 entries from Europe, from Southeast Asia, from a lot of different countries like Russia, Ukraine. Also, I think this year we have a Chinese documentary, China, about Wuhan.
What is it?
Wuhan is I think it's a place from Guangdong where they have first time ever an election, and during the start of that election, one of their activist leader was I don't know, murdered or dead or something.
You're talking about the state, the provincial election, or?
I'm not sure actually. I just saw the synopsis just now. I gotta be frank.
So one of the activists was being murdered because in relation to
I guess
the election itself.
So that documentary will be showcased in this Freedom Film Fest, and that activist, that lawyer, human rights lawyer from China, who is involved in this film, will be in the festival too. So I encourage people to come here for the premiere. So not only that you can watch the film, you can actually talk and interact with those activists or filmmakers to know more and get insights of all these issues.
And what's unique about these filmmakers, like you mentioned, they are actually activists, and some of them may not have even background in filmmaking. Like you yourself, you were pulled in by Zuna to make this film out of nowhere, but because of your passion on politics and the post.
Actually, I'm not really into politics. I don't have passion in politics, but I have passion in having like human rights and social responsibility work. That's why I got involved with Bersih and etc. and Durian.
And Durian ASEAN. Durian FM. And just want to give a quick review on the categories that will be involved or will be screened at the Freedom Film Fest. For short films, there are a few, and one of it is Two Brothers Bohe, and a short film on the May 13 generation. So they are all very interesting. There are also category on democracy and a category on feature films where they showcase international films like Jalanan from Indonesia and Die Fremde. I'm not sure which country is that. Could be from Germany. And also they have films regarding on children. For example, When I Was a Kid, it was a film. It's a film about children making friends without the baggage of racial bias. And besides that, of course, the team Freedom. So under that, there are a number of films, and one of it is interesting. I like the topic. Between Allah and Me is a film about hijab by this one Canadian Muslim. And another one is more on social economic issue. The title is Housing and Urban Poverty, which is also a huge issue in the area of Kuala Lumpur and all that. Of course, there's one category on indigenous, which we see a lot of interesting young and upcoming filmmakers showcasing their, the story that they want to showcase. And obviously, we also have a Malaysian premiere besides Anur Nak Sekolah, Fight Through Cartoon, and Lebo Agraria, which is made by the 3 finalists of the Freedom Film Fest. We also have Survivors Speak Up and Di Ambang. Both of them, they are not really competing, if I'm not mistaken. They will be screening, their film will be screened at the Film Fest itself. Yeah. And the last one is the category called Rights of Minors. And for all this, which is quite a number of films, how is it? What is the schedule or the program of the Film Fest itself?
Okay, so on the 6th to the 13th of September in PJ Live Arts Centre in Jayawan. I think you should buy a ticket for the weekend pass or the weekday pass. It's quite reasonable for weekday pass, right? For one day it's just 10 ringgit, but if you buy the whole full package, it's about 30 ringgit. Mm-hmm. And if it's weekday full pass, it's 20 ringgit. So you can watch 37 films. Just imagine with that amount of money.
And among the countries that will be part of this film fest,
China, Iran, Afghanistan, Nepal, South Philippines, Indonesia, Sabah pula, Malaysia. I mean, Senegal, the film from
Sabah. They'll be angry at you.
No, I read from the notes that where about the films from. So yeah.
Yeah.
So there's just so many diverse messaging. Yeah. Messages from the Film Fest. I'm just wondering.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Other than at the PJ Live Arts Centre, right? We'll be going to Johor on the 19th of September, Sabah on the 20th, Perak on the 4th of October, Pahang on the 11th of October, Sarawak 19th of October, Penang 25th of October, and Singapore on the 15th and 16th of
Singapore
in November, yes. Mm-hmm. And Zuna will be bringing this Fight Through Cartoon documentary to the States, different parts of the States, and in London too.
In London. Which part of
London? I'm not sure, but it will be showed to especially the birthday group. Yeah.
Interesting is not just within Malaysia, but also in the UK and also Singapore.
Other Southeast Asia country, like I'm not sure, is it Cambodia, Indonesia, Cambodia,
Philippines. I think.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's just focus the one in KL.
Okay.
The PJ Live Arts. With so many messages that will be conveyed throughout the 2. How many days?
From the 6th to the 13th.
Yeah,
it's almost 1 week.
Almost a week.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, will all the filmmakers, internationally, locally, will be part of this?
Yes. So there will be at least one filmmaker or activist to be there. For example, the activist from Tibet, the human rights lawyer from China, the Wukan documentary. So the audience can interact with the filmmakers and activists to get insights and in-depth discussion with them. So it'd be interesting. It wouldn't be like you go to the cinema, you pay 10, 12 ringgit to go to the cinema, and then you leave. this one, with just 10 ringgit or 20, 30 ringgit, you can watch 37 films and interact with all these people.
And learn more about human rights
yeah.
all over the world.
Yeah.
We'll take a short break and we will return with more discussion.
Voice of sharing. Durian ASEAN.
Hi, this is Arlene. Welcome back to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. In our discussion now, we actually, for me personally, I'm really impressed by both of you. You guys have very little or to minimum background in filmmaking, but because of your appreciation of human rights and your spirit to address the issue that you are concerned with, you actually pull out with very interesting documentaries. With you is the fight through cartoons, and with you is Anur Nak Sekolah. And let me start with you, Mick.
Yes.
So you started the filmmaking of the titled Fight Through Cartoon, and you with Zunar. And earlier you discussed how Zunar approached you and invited you to work with him together on this particular filmmaking. But prior to this whole
prior to this, I have no background in filmmaking at all. I mean, even prior to Durian stuff, because previously I was in the business school. I was doing my master's and PhD. I was doing my master's in St Andrews, and then I started my PhD there. So my supervisor moved to Aberdeen. I moved with him. After doing all the experiment done, just at the writing up stage, my dad had a stroke, so I came back to Malaysia and took care of him about 2 years at home. I wanted to go to 709's birthday rally, but my dad's condition wasn't stable at the time, so I couldn't go. And I watched how the police beat people on YouTube, and I was very angry and sad. So I wrote the song Tears of Malaysia. At that time, it wasn't like nowadays. It's at that time when you put things online, right? You will be so scared to you might get a call. You might get a call from Bukit Aman. And remember those days where even you wear yellow color shirt, you will be caught.
Even the word per se itself is banned.
But I thought that, if I don't do this, I might regret when I'm 80 years old. I should do something about it.
But are you a singer-songwriter yourself? You to pen that song?
Well, singing and songwriting is my hobby. I don't have the background for that too.
But it was your first time actually pen a music that is about something to do with human rights.
Yeah.
So what's the song lyric about?
Tears of Malaysia. It's about citizens want to have a loving society and this for freedom, and we can all together we can make a difference. Just a small step at a time. So I invited Bersih Committee, Ambiga and Chinhua, they all to join, and then I got the Bersih group in London and Australia to involve. That was the first ever attempt of doing a music video, which involves Bersih people from various.
But you started out alone. How do you get such huge connection like Ambiga?
One small step at a time. I never knew that when I started. I thought that, okay, I'll sing it solo and just put it online. And then I asked around some of my friends. They said, yes, if you're going to do Bersih thing, we will join. We are scared, but we will do it. So it got bigger and bigger. So I thought that, okay, since it's got bigger already, there's no freedom of speech, freedom of expression in Malaysia on the mainstream media. So I'm going to open this platform for other Malaysians too. So I put it on Facebook and invite people whom I don't know to come and join us if they dare to. So more and more people joining us. So okay, since there are so many people already, why not just invite Bersih people? Since we're writing this as a tribute to Bersih. So when I call up, they say, "Oh yeah, sure." They are very friendly, and that's how everything started.
But did you get a call from the Bukit Aman?
Luckily, no. Luckily, and then. Well, after we have released this, we thought that, okay, my volunteers and we thought that we want to continue with this. We want to do more for this. So I interviewed various people including Jamal from Durian FM. And that's how I got involved with Durian FM. He saw what I did, and then he likes it. So he said that we are fighting for freedom also. Why don't you join us? I say, okay, yes. I just didn't care about my career and my studies and everything. I just check it aside. I say, okay, the election is around the corner. I'm going to do this. That's how everything got started. And then produce the voters education series that I connect with, say, Tindak Malaysia and Durian together to produce that. And later I invited Merap Group, Dr. Ong Kian-ming, to produce a series of documentary about the electoral problems of the electoral and phantom voters. And
That
how
escalated
everything.
until now.
I've never imagined that, because this is not my background at all, and I've never imagined that I would be doing something like this. I'm not interested in politics at all. Yeah.
Interesting. And what about you? Prior to this documentary, you actually wrote a book to your in remembrance of your daughter, and a memoir of her. It's called Surat Untuk Anak.
Yeah. In order to make my dream comes true, to fight for my daughter's right, I've been through so many things. I've been through so many ways, including myself, my wife and my daughter went to Parliament, submitted the memorandum. And I wrote many articles about that. And also I wrote a book, like you mentioned, Surat Untuk Anak, an autobiography about myself, a father raising two daughters with cerebral palsy. Then, before that, I found Hope to Walk, the campaign for public awareness about this type of children. And after doing all this, I think I used this method, making film. Film is one method I used to keep on saying about the right of this type of children to get systematically education. That's I've been, and before this also I fight so many issues, like toll hike protests,
Were you part of any movement or organization when you were doing, focusing on different issues or causes of your activism?
I've joined many, but I don't like to join. I like to be in the committee, because I want to be free. Sometimes you are not free also, Like, honestly, I say, even I fight Barisan Nasional, and I bring this issue also to Pakatan Rakyat at Selangor, but they also still don't, keep on silent. So there's still no answer from them. So in this issue, to bring this issue, my kids to get education, it's not a political issue. Yeah.
But
this
definitely,
is human rights issue.
Education is one of the key challenges in Malaysia. I mean, in different areas of education, people have been voicing out their concern, but I think politicians from all camps, not necessarily from Pakatan and also Barisan Nasional, but even those who are independents, it seems like they are not really listening. So what have you been doing besides writing the memoir of your daughter? Have you, what else that you have done in terms of trying to get them to listen to you, grabbing their attention?
I got a plan myself. Okay. This film, I hope people out there will understand what I'm trying to say. Then, I planned so many after this, maybe until the very extreme, So just wait and see. After I'm doing all the things, founded a campaign, wrote an articles, books, and film. And after this, more, just to fight. Referring to famous quote by Mahatma Gandhi, "Man got to do what man got to do." So, dad got to do what dad got to do.
There's one question. There is this one question that is in my mind right now, and I want to throw to both of you.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are fighting for obviously different causes, but something that is for the betterment of this country. But at the same time, it seems like an uphill battle because the authorities seems to be not very much interested to listen to the voices of you, and to the extent that you have to go through things like, going through this film festival in order for you to sort of like document the causes that you are bringing forward. And my question to you, like, why you are still doing this, both of you?
I remember William Wallace said that you don't have to win. Win or lose is not the matter, but you have to fight. So keep on fighting. Win or lose is not the answer. So we are just keep on saying this issue,
Keep on pushing the issue.
Keep on
regardless.
pushing. Yeah.
For me, I think that after the election, I was quite depressed for some time. But I think that there's a need to keep telling myself and other people that you can fight through your own means. Zuna fight with his cartoons. I fight with using my music and filmmaking, although I'm not from this field. I mean, everybody can contribute one step at a time. If you don't do it, then you have no hope at all. To me, if you do something right, at least there is hope. Hope in front, which is like a light through the tunnel that can lead us to somewhere instead of just sitting here doing nothing. Yeah.
What was the process that both of you gone through when you did the films? That
I think
How
we
was
are
it?
very, very different. We have very different experience because, for example, the film that I'm doing it with Zuna. As you know, Zuna is a very determined cartoonist, and
yeah,
he.
I know. I worked with him before.
Okay, sorry
Not
about
sure
Zuna. There is a good trait. There is a good trait. So at first I was the one who came up with the script, and then because this is a story about his fight and his life, so he would prefer it to be his way. And then I say, okay, I surrender. You write the script. And there was like, I don't know how many times of changing the script and the directions and everything. And up to even yesterday, we still have arguments on certain things. Yeah, but we are still good friends. It's just that we have quite different opinions and way of doing stuff.
But in terms of the writing of the script, in terms of writing of the story and video editing, do you have a team behind you to support? Or is this you and Zuna all the way?
We were given a grant, a small grant. So I recruited like my editor who worked with us before at Durian on editing the Voters Education series. So I said that, hey, this is I can't pay you much, but this is for national service. You have to come and join. He said, okay, yeah. So he joined, and the cameramen were introduced by Anna and Brenda from Comas. Yeah, so and then the music was also introduced by the audio post production people.
So you do have professional help by Comas. Would that be the case?
Well, in that case, yeah. But it's not like a permanent team that we have met before and then we worked together before. No.
How long it took you to produce the whole documentary?
1 month plus something. Because we stopped in the middle. Zuna's
Fasting
mother.
month, isn't it? And then fasting month.
Yeah, not only fasting month. Zuna's mom passed
Zuna's mother
away.
passed away. Yeah.
So we had to stop for a while. And at first, I think I was quite ill also. So yeah, it was like off a bit.
But the idea has been there since last year, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Since I think May or June.
Okay.
Yeah.
This year, May or June.
Yeah.
So what about you?
Yeah, I was so lucky, because I
Ronasina.
have a good team. They are really into the.
How many
this
people
project.
it was in your team?
6 or 7.
Wow.
Oh, nice!
You
Hey,
have a
introduce
good
to me,
support.
please.
Yeah, they are really into this project and very committed and very enthusiasm,
Yeah.
But the most challenging is you have to deal with Anur, because Anur, you cannot ask her to do this or that. She is what she is. When you set up everything and want her to smile or be happy, she sleep the whole day. She sleep. So That means you cannot set up.
So that means your schedule follows her schedule.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's very natural.
What can we do is we always get ready with camera. We just get ready and camera and record everything. You know.
In this sense, I'm luckier. I can ask Zuna, smile, laugh, stop, look angry.
Yeah, and the problem is the weather. You know, the hot season and
Jerobu.
haze.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
The haze.
Then,
Crazy.
yes, and Anur got a lungs infection and
Oh,
warded for 1 week. So that's part of the scene also. You know what?
It wasn't in the script.
It wasn't in the script.
So that means you developed the script while you're filming your daughter.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Is there any like significant moment during the production itself, like moments where you felt that you're not going to move forward, or it feels like a uphill battle, to move forward the production?
No.
So that means it was easy for you.
Yeah, easy.
To me, there were moments that I find that, why I'm doing this? yeah, but at the end, I still, I keep reminding myself this is to get more people to fight. So I carry on.
And another thing that I want to highlight is about Merdeka. As you all know, end of this month is Merdeka Day, 31st of
it's August already.
Yeah. So, in conjunction with Merdeka Day itself, what kind of message that you think is important that you want to convey to the younger generation of today?
This country is our country. It's not country for the politician or by the politician. Everyone plays a role, including you. Even though you are young, you can read and watch films about freedom, about human rights. What is your right? I mean, get involved. Understand your rights and fight for it. Don't leave it to the hands of other people.
And you, Ronasina?
Respect each other. Just that. Respect each other.
One thing that I feel this year's Merdeka is a bit special is the theme. I don't know you are aware of not. It's called Malaysia. Lahirnya
Oh yeah.
Cinta.
I don't watch
Di
TV.
sini lahirnya
Di
sebuah cinta
sini
is,
lahirnya sebuah cinta.
A quote of Sudirman song.
Yeah, which I thought
No
it
idea.
was a much better theme compared to a few years back.
This right is your team.
And what I find this year to be a bit more special is because the theme is about love. I'm just wondering, do you think that we are moving forward to a better future? As in, like, we are Merdeka in ourselves. Merdeka means freedom or independence.
Well, I think previously Merdeka has a notion of being independent from the British, right? But a lot of people, a lot of Malaysians are still not aware of being independent in the sense of knowing their rights, being independent from tyranny. Okay, I'm not speaking about the colonial power, but about whether this should be a democratic country, but the system shows that the judiciary system, the legal system, everything is so corrupted. I mean, are we really independent, or it's just from the frying pan to you know? So yeah, I would really hope that things would change in this country, and we need more and more people to join the fight. Or even if you don't think that you want to join the fight, at least get yourself aware, being aware of what's happening in this society. Look around. There are so many refugees in KL alone, 100,000 of them. There are so many homeless people in KL city alone. Last few weeks, I've been joining a Reach Out NGO to distribute food on the streets, and one of our ministers says that these kind of NGOs should not be giving them food. So what do you expect these people to go to? They have jobs, but they can't afford a place to stay, so they have no choice but to stay there. And DBKL come and capture them, put them in the lockup, and just release them the next day. They are not solving this problem, but creating more problems for all these homeless people.
And what about you?
Yeah, I agree with Thru. Merdeka means you're free.
So we are not free yet.
No.
Even though
Not
we
yet.
have achieved
Free
independence
from the
for
exploitation.
57 years, we have achieved independence. We are still are being exploited.
Yeah.
It's just we have a different master. Would that be the case?
Yeah.
So let's move back to the Freedom Film Fest. It will be on the 6th to 13th September. It will be premiering at PJ Life Arts, Jaya 1, Petaling Jaya. And what's the schedule? It would be when your films will be premiering.
Ours is on the 6th, right?
6
And from 8
to 10.
Yeah.
So from
PM.
6 September, 8 to 10 p.m., it will premiere the 3 films by the 3 finalists, which is the film called Fight Through Cartoon, Lebo Agraria, and Anur Nak Sekolah. And besides that, on the, if I'm not mistaken, on the 19th September, it will be premiering in Johor Bahru. On the 20th, the 3 films will be premiering in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, as well as 4th of October in Ipoh, and 11th of October, Pahang, and 19th of October, Sarawak, Kuching, Sarawak, and 25th of October in Penang, Georgetown, Penang. So yeah, stay tuned. So any last message that you want to convey to those who have no clue about the Freedom Film Fest but is interested to know more about independent films and human rights issues?
Go online to check. It's freedomfilmfest.comas.org. You will know what kind of films are there, and then all the information on how to get the tickets and etc. And also, I would like to highlight that Comas has invited MPs and aduns from various states.
So the government,
Yes,
they are invited.
yes, regardless of their
Political alliances.
Yeah. So because Comas identify and understand that not all politicians know know a lot of issues about human rights, and this might help. So this is a joint effort to get the Malaysian society, the public, and also policymakers.
And for the Malaysian public, if you know your MP is not going, push your MP
Yeah,
to come and watch this.
Write to them, email them, call them. What's that?
And for you, what's your last message?
Yes, the people out there, don't forget, these festivals will run from 6 to 13 September. There's many angles of a freedom that they highlight. So watch and check it.
Will Anur be there?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great for people to meet Anur herself. Anyway, thank you, Ronasina.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arlene.
And thank you, Thru.
Thank you.